Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello to you and welcome back to the channel where today you join me to take a very first look at the brand new BMW Z4. I wasn't able to make it to the studio myself, but my man on the ground grabbed some shots so that we can check out the exterior, the interior, hear the sound of the car and see how the roof mechanism works. So let's get started and check out in full the new BMW Z4. The particular model that we're able to take a look at today is the BMW Z4 M40i. Now at this stage they're saying that there won't be a specific Z4M model in future, so the 40i sits as the flagship range topper in the lineup. We'll get full details of the different engine variants to be released in due course, but as we take a look at the car and we'll go into things in more detail, fundamentally it remains very true to the concept that we've seen launched before now. Lots of the design styling cues, the modern updates, the aggressiveness, the sharpness of the creases. It's heavily influenced by the older roadsters, the BMW 507 and more recently the Z8 as well. It's actually the 6th model to wear the BMW Z moniker. In the late 80s, the Z1 arrived, shortly followed by the Z3, then the Z8, and then our 3 generations of the Z4, but the biggest difference is that the newest model has a folding soft top. So for the previous car, the 2nd generation Z4, BMW introduced a retractable hardtop. Now though, they've reverted back to the soft top to save 50 kilos of weight and a mechanism with no cover that can open and close in just 10 seconds. The new model has been developed in collaboration with Toyota, so the new model Supra and the new Z4 will share the same underpinnings, the main difference between the two being that the Z4 is only available as the open-top convertible, whereas the Supra will only be a fixed-roof coupe. When the first generation of the Z4 launched, it was originally available as a roadster and then also as a coupe. The 2nd generation, with the retractable hardtop, effectively merged the two cars into one, but of course for weight savings the new car is only going to be a convertible. But what's particularly interesting to me is how similar the car actually is to the concept that we've seen before. Of course, a number of things had to change. So for example, on the rear deck lid, gone are the buttresses from the roofless concept in favour of a stowage area for the roof mechanism when it's folded open. But generally speaking, the design of the car, in terms of the lines, the edges, the shapes and the curves, has remained incredibly true to the concept's design. As the style of car it is, the 2-seat roadster with the elongated front end, akin to the 507 and to the BMW Z8, the lines really enhance the presence and the front itself has a lot of sporty prowess. Now the bonnet creases have been subdued, but they come down towards this front, which is wider than before. It has the dual kidney grills, where in this case BMW have resisted the temptation to connect them into the centre. They're wider than before, and they also have that new mesh finish that you can spot inside. Flanked either side by new headlights, adaptive LED headlights with matrix technology, where we come round towards the side of the car and have the new 19-inch dual-tone wheels. Now possibly an argument the car should be fitted with 20-inch wheels, but behind that we have the much larger air breathers. So those are about reducing the air swelling inside the front wheel wells, with the M badge placed there on the centre of them at the sides also, but they also bring in these creases. You can see the line that runs over the rear shoulder, but also the lower line on the side skirt that comes up into the rear wheel itself. Now around towards the back of the car, again, very true to the concept design. For example, the spoiler that's integrated into the boot lid with the tail lights that run around the side and almost wrap around that, but again also coming down towards the back with the sculpted rear diffuser flanked either side by the tailpipes and the openings or exits for air to come out of the back either side of those too. Up towards the top, it wears the Z4 badge on the left, the M40i badge over to the right, but we've got new tail lights as well as new headlights around to the front of the car itself, and this paintwork, the frozen grey, of course looking very nice inside the studio that we're filming the car in. Now continuing around the car to come and have a better look at the rear deck lid, at where the roof folds back. There's no cover sitting over the top of it. When it's folded down, taking 10 seconds to open, it reveals the small hoops that you have behind the seats for the driver and passenger, for the occupants of the car, but the fabric of the roof exposed there, ready basically to open and close as quickly as possible. The hoops also finished in a very nice material too, with the Z4 badges emblazoned on the side of them. In terms of driving dynamics, the Z4 has a very low centre of gravity with a 50-50 weight distribution. It's wider than before, but maintains a compact wheelbase, which of course is beneficial for driving experience. The model is 50 kilos lighter, thanks to the soft roof, but still weighs in at 1,500 kilos. If we come towards the engine bay to take a look at the new power plant, it's hidden beneath a very wide bonnet. So the bonnet one piece stretching the full width of the car around the flanks towards the front wheels, enhancing the sporty appearance, but also giving it a cleaner image by having fewer panel lines to be found around the car. So under the bonnet, we have the engine as per the X3 M40i. It's the 3-litre twin turbocharged straight 6. When we talk about the power numbers, this is quite interesting. So thanks to the new WLTP regulations in Europe and the installation therefore of the OPF filter, European cars will have 340 horsepower and 500 newton meters, where cars found across the pond in the US, for example, can have 382 horsepower, so more than 40 horsepower difference in the different markets. The European car, as found in the UK, will take 4.6 seconds to get to 62 miles per hour, or 100 kilometers an hour, and onto a top speed of 155 miles per hour, or 250 kilometers per hour. That's mated with an M Sport differential, M Performance brakes, new adaptive dampers, and an 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox. It's no longer available with a manual. All models will come with the 8-speed auto. Let's take a look at the roof mechanism process. So firstly, closing up the car, which of course you can do either on the move or parked stationary. The flaps fold in, allowing the fabric soft top to open up, enclose the cockpit, and tuck down to the front windscreen where it will latch in place. The rear window folded in the opposite direction inside, but then the driver and passenger windows closed to complete the operation, which all happens very, very quickly. Now it has to be said, as per other convertibles, it's designed to have the roof down, and I personally find the lines almost a little bit awkward when it's up, but of course that's the normal view you have of the car yourself when it's parked. To reverse the operation, the windows go down before the roof folds back, where it will sit exposed on the rear deck lid with the flaps going back down, all designed to make it happen as quickly as possible, and roof down, it definitely looks very good. Let's explore the interior, which is quite alike to BMW's new 8 Series. So this particular car has quite a contrast to the exterior paint scheme. On the inside you'll find the dual tone colours, where on the door you have additional controls. You have the M40i side tread plates to step over to enter the car, where we can take a look at things in much more detail. But the first step is to get the car started up using the start button found in the central console. And it's into life, where we can now see the new dual digital displays. So the driver has a full digital screen for the dashboard, where you can see the speedometer to the left and the rev counter on the right. On the steering wheel, you have a number of controls. On the left side for your cruise control and your speed limiter. On the right hand side you have your media controls, and you also have the button in the center at the bottom, which will control what is shown on the right side of the driver's screen. So for example, there you can jump into your music collection, or cycle through different radio stations, or revert it back to the rev counter. To the left side of the steering wheel you have your light stalk, to the right side you have your wiper stalk. Of course you have the shift paddles mounted to the back for the 8-speed automatic gearbox. In the center console you have the control panel for many of your driving configuration settings, surrounded by this trim panel that runs all around it. But here you'll find your sport button, for example, which will change the driver display and bring up a number of different settings and visual cues to let you know which mode you're in. You can see the way it cycles back through the eco mode there, where things go blue, a more economical color perhaps, but basically giving you a different display and a different view depending on the different driving modes. And there, turning off traction control, you can see it alerts you over the right hand side as well. But basically the dashboard giving you a lot of information available, your speed shown in the middle to the left hand side, but with the hexagonal almost, are they, or octagonal displays, but you can change what's on the right. There you've got your audio settings, but G-force sensors, trip information, your driving mode depending how you have the car configured, your gear selector. Basically, a long list of different settings you can have it shown. Then on the right hand side of the central control panel, you have the iDrive controller, which will run through the central screen. So this is where you have the new skin or finish, the latest version of the software. If you press media, you'll go straight to your full media options, your Bluetooth connection to your phone, your radio, your built-in music system, the hard drive in the car, however you want it set up. Of course, the whole system allows you to interact in many different ways. It's a particularly high resolution display, lots of information that's visible. Beneath that you have nav, car, and your other settings. And of course, the volume control will pop up over the top. So to run into the nav, you can see the satellite style view showing the filming in the studio found near to Munich, the base of BMW, of course, where all of their main operations are held and take place in Munich itself, recent destinations, everything that you can imagine the car's system would normally offer. Beneath that, you'll find the air conditioning, the dual zone climate control, independently of course setting for the driver or passenger, automatic depending how you like it, and of course, being a roadster, you have seat heating, an absolute must to drive with the roof down on a brisk cold day with a warm seat to heat you up from behind and below. So at the bottom, volume control, you have a series of hotkeys to access your favourite functionality. Tucked in underneath, you have the wireless charging pad for your mobile phone, along with a 12-volt socket and a USB port, but slot your phone in there and it will charge up or conceal it as you prefer. And then coming back towards the gear lever, you can see P for park, the traction buttons to the left. And then we come over to the passenger side, just a quick look inside the glove box. Not a huge amount of storage, but then I guess how much do you really need in there? Before taking a look around the interior just to see the edges, again inside the sharpness matching much of what you see on the exterior. There's a small shelf behind the occupants of the car, a storage bucket found in the backboard with the speakers you can see as well, the subwoofer there too, but you can tuck away things inside the back that will lead through towards the boot, kind of through load system almost, as well as the netting at the back. So inside between the occupants you have the button to open up the armrest. You've got two cup holders inside there, you can see the key, the Z4 mat placed at the bottom, and also some charging ports or USB-C ports for your media devices found in there too, but the dual-sided folding pads that you have for the armrest. Over towards the door, you can see your usual mirror and window controls, and the door handle itself, quite edgy, matching with the styling of the car. Just a last look at some of the light controls as well before taking a step out, and also the small sneaky storage bucket that you have to the left hand side or to the door side of the steering wheel. All that's left then is to hear how the car sounds. There we have it then, a first look at the new BMW Z4. Hopefully more to come with that in the future. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, guys. As always, I appreciate your support. That is it for this time though. I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!